Which one you'll keep?
I got
Yeah,
it.
here.
I wasn't actually going to do this. So I know you guys call half million.
Yeah.
Have something.
Yeah, I want to hear from you,
All right, thank you.
even if I'm gone.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Just saying.
You need a stamp.
All right, good morning. We'll call the Board of Works meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Got a big agenda this morning, so we're going to get right at it. We'll start with the approval of minutes from the November 16th meeting. All here were present. Did you all have a chance to review those minutes?
Did you see that?
I move to approve.
Second?
All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right, well, welcome to all our visitors. I think I know why most of you are here, and that will be our next item. We're going to give Daniel Clemens his formal oath of office as a policeman. So Daniel, if you'll come up, and I'd like you to bring your family with you. We're going to be right up front here, and we're going to do the oath right in front of, right up here.
Okay, keep one thing too many there.
Yes, you did.
Were you asking or do you need? Do you have?
Yeah, I got a copy. We're gonna do it over here, and then we'll get our pictures over there. And I'll have you stand right here. Guys, can stand over by your dad. Okay? It's always a privilege and an honor to be able to bring someone into the department. I'm very humbled by his service and training. I'm equally humbled by the fact that he's willing to take on this profession with this family that he's got and their willingness to support him. They're all here, one a little bit late.
Sorry.
No worries. I think I'm going to take the microphone so the streaming audience can hear everything. So again, this is truly an honor for me and a privilege to be able to welcome Daniel into this fraternity with this formal oath of office. So Daniel, I'm going to have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Daniel R. Clemens,
I, Daniel R. Clemens,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and comply
that I will support and comply
with the Constitution of the United States of America,
with the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution and laws of the State of Indiana,
the Charter, laws, and ordinances
the charters, laws, and ordinances
of the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
of the City of Warsaw, Indiana,
the rules, regulations, and policies
the rules, regulations, and policies
of the Warsaw Police Department,
of the Warsaw Police Department,
and the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics,
and the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics,
and the canon of police ethics,
and the canon of police ethics,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as a police officer
as a police officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Go ahead and sign those, and then if you guys want to move over this, we're going to get some pictures taken. Then you can come up to it if you want. All right.
Thank you.
You guys, we're going to stand right over here in front of this seal for a few photos, and then we'll move on.
Dan, do you have your acceptance speech ready? Usually about 20 minutes. That's what I thought.
Chief?
Cool, isn't it?
Oh, I appreciate it.
If that's what you guys want.
Do you know, the one doesn't remember?
You want to take a couple before?
Oh,
Scott. Go do your pictures.
I see, I got it.
I have tried my entire life to try to get this. It's gotta be something down.
Lots of sperm exchanges.
It's gotta be the nerve center.
Okay.
Then the stops
The what? Yeah. I get bit out picking up a new city attorney, excuse me.
Yeah. I love it.
All set? Okay.
And will you just stop?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Scott.
Gentlemen, thanks for coming, appreciate it. I'll get it set. Okay. Clemens.
Yeah. We don't get free passes.
They were just making fun of me.
Yeah. I thought you'd like that. Used to be a K in Clinton. No thank you.
I would take one.
Problem. Where'd everybody go?
Oh,
Mike go?
I don't know.
down there.
All right, thank you very much. We'll get started here. With no one finished, we'll dive right into new business. Our first item is opening bids for our recyclable contract. So it looks like we've got
One,
one.
by 10:30. From board.
Jeff, just remind us, this starts as of the first of the year. Is it a 2-year, 3-year contract? 4, okay. From Borden, who is our current vendor?
Provider. I believe a board member.
Is it just a unit price that we would be reading, or is it total in here somewhere? Board and reps here?
It's just a unit price.
Unit price, okay. All right, so we will, I'll read those unit prices. Year 1, $3.42. Year 2, $3.52. Year 3, $3.63. Year 4, $3.74. There's actually a 5th year listed, $3.85. But this is a 4-year contract, correct? Okay. Do you wish to take this under advisement? Okay. All right. So, the bid's been opened, those unit prices have been divulged, and I would ask for a motion to delay consideration of this to the next meeting. Jeff?
I'm sorry.
Next meeting, okay to make this award the bid?
I'll move, we take the bid under advisement by Jeff and you look at it.
Second.
Sure.
All right, any further discussion? Yes, sir.
I'm from Borden. We held a mailer for until, it was turned in.
Can you come up to the microphone, please, sir, and then we'll, thank you.
Yeah, I'm Richard Mommer. I'm the general manager over the 6 companies of the Wasteway Group, but I'm down here for board this morning. We've held the mailer back, since you guys bid it out. We don't want to release that until it's awarded. So when's the next meeting where we would find out if it's awarded or
The
not, so we can get the
21st.
information out?
The 21st
21st?
of
Okay,
December, yeah.
that'll work. I just want to let you know that, we don't want to mail until it gets awarded and stuff.
That's fine.
All right.
Okay,
That's what, the information that you put on the cans, right?
right.
Oh,
And
it's
we-
that
Oh,
magnetic
gotcha, it's
thing
not
with
the
what the
mailer.
recycling.
Okay,
All
I
that
thought it was
information we
something to do
send
with
out,
the bid
we've been-
itself. Okay,
holding
that's
until we-
reasonable.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you, appreciate that. Okay, all right, so we'll consider that at the next meeting, which will be on the
21st.
21st. All right. All right, Pam, if you can come up to the microphone and explain the release of mortgage on the Keller property.
Okay, this was from the grant that you completed, and under a grant, when people are granted funds, they have to live and maintain the real estate for a certain period of time, or else the grant goes away. So in this case, she got married, so she sold her house. And we do not retain that money. We have to send that money back to IHCDA. So I have already completed that process, but now the real estate transaction is awaiting the release of mortgage
I see.
and the IHCDA lien. So I just need you to sign these so that I can take them to the courthouse and have them filed.
Questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So she had completed 2 of the 3 years. It depends on the amount of money, how many years the liens are.
I see. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? You want that signed now?
Yeah. And sign all 4 of them so she has.
Thanks, Pete.
So this wasn't a bad thing. Sometimes the liens are because
Right.
they lose their house or something, but this was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's got the new sitters, right? He's sitting over there behind Jeremy. You might want to sit down.
Here, Pam, he gave me 2.
Yeah, there's 2. One is an IHCDA lien and one
Okay,
is the
I only
city
had
foundation.
1 with my stuff, so.
And
Okay.
there's 2.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item number 3, 2019 take-home vehicle requests. Jennifer?
Yes, historically, we come to the Board of Works, ask permission for certain positions to be allowed to have a take-home vehicle. They do pay usage tax on those vehicles per IRS, so it's not a total free, and it's for back and forth to work. I do want to point out that although Roger Sarber's name is listed as a vehicle request, Roger Sarber's vehicle that is designated to him does not qualify for that because it's a boom truck, it has lots of tools, and we don't have to do that charge. We came back in mid-year last year and asked permission, and I just want to clarify Roger's. So, I want you to know he's going to have the vehicle at his home for emergencies, for stoplights, for road closures, for anything that happens where he needs to be dispatched immediately, where he doesn't come back into the shop to grab the truck. It just saves time. This is a little bit different.
So there's no charge.
Correct.
This is like a police
Like
vehicle.
we're doing right now, yes.
All right,
I move to accept.
Second?
further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. I need to talk to you for a second.
Yep.
Everybody got their Christmas shopping done?
Yeah.
Mayor Tolmer asked me also to clarify one more, which is his take-home vehicle. His also is designated by IRS standards as well. And for his, personal miles may be driven, but he's in charge of the reimbursement for the personal miles per the IRS standard. Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out, but that was lumped in.
Lynn, I would ask that you make that correction on the.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yep, no, thank you.
All right, new hire report. Got several new hire replacements, one part full-time.
Yes, and we just got notification yesterday from the state of Indiana. If the first name that you'll see is Lucas Vanderhart, he actually worked for us this summer as part-time parking control. He left, came back as full-time parking control. He has just been approved down at the State of Indiana Pension 77 Fund. He's actually going to be your next police officer. So as a verbal, if you could also include Lucas as your new hire police. And right now in your report says TBA, that's Lucas.
So
And he's
he won't be doing both?
no, right now he's hired in as a civilian under PERF, but once 2019 wages kick in, he will be hired in as the patrol officer as a replacement.
And will not do the parking control.
Will not do the
duties
parking
anymore.
control.
So he's not being paid for two jobs?
No, absolutely not. No,
Okay.
so we're just,
All right. Just
we're one
clarify
payroll
that.
different.
Yep.
Why are we doing that at this time, though, my question?
Why-
Why would you hire him in as that, and then also now a patrol officer, even though it's for next year? Is that,
Right.
I would
well,
question the protocol there, just
Right.
Jeff speaking.
Sure. We actually hired Lucas back in as our parking control individual several months ago, but because he was in a job, it took him a little bit of time to transition from Tennessee back to Indiana to find residence. He was also in our new hire process for the patrol officer. As you know, takes about 4 to 6 months. So it's a weird hit, the way that it just kind of transpired.
So he was actually hired as parking control officer before you knew he
Prior.
was going to be eligible?
You are
and
correct.
approved to be our police officer?
Right,
Yes.
we had to wait for
It's just a timing
stuff
issue.
from NPERS for the,
Jeff, we have to send them down, not only, she's exactly right, not only do we have to go through the background check and the advertisements, everything, the interview process, but we also have to get them down to public safety medical for their psychological and their pension physical.
And he has to have the new hire status to go do
I
that?
cannot hire him in as a police officer for the 77 fund without the Board of Public Works approval, but I can't ask for your approval until we get something from the state that says pension doctors will accept that new hire, and that's what we've got.
Just came yesterday.
yeah, it just came.
This,
Okay.
Lucas is not an extra position being added, he is a replacement for an officer who had left us. So it has taken us probably 7 months to replace one officer. It takes that long to get somebody in.
So my assumption is, and tell me if I'm incorrect, that he came back to get back involved in the position that he'd had this summer,
Correct,
knowing that he was applying for the police department.
Correct.
But didn't know when that was gonna happen.
you are correct.
So he wanted to get started.
Yes.
and
Yeah,
I
and we had a
guess
need.
That's
We-
the way, yeah.
Yes, and we had a need for the parking.
It's being presented in public, Board of Works, and it is a unique situation, I
It
know,
is.
at police. So with that, I appreciate your response. I will move to approve all
Okay,
as
thank you.
listed with that gentleman on the patrol officer
Perfect.
slot. Thank you.
Did anybody have any questions about the 2019 wages? That actually goes into effect the next pay cycle, but there wasn't anything special. We did have one individual that did classify different, just looking at her job as we continue to do. So, but other than that, it's pretty cut and dry. Really, really happy with it.
So the 2019 wages that you're also asking us to improve are listed here. They're
Yeah.
reflective of what was approved by the council.
Yes,
This is just essentially
just a
the
follow-up.
paperwork to get it going in the paperwork.
Yes, you are correct. Yep.
Lynn, do you have any comments?
No.
All right,
I will second his motion, by the way.
all right. So again, these salaries and wages, the elected officials' wages, are contingent upon the approval of second reading at the next council meeting.
Yes.
So
Right.
that would be the caveat to this vote. So, all right, so that's been motion and seconded. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And then there is one travel request for Sheila to go to the Park and Recs conference.
Correct. Larry can answer
Larry?
some questions.
Yeah, that's our annual state conference. She goes down, there's educational workshops, has opportunities to see what other park systems are doing within the state for recreation ideas. Really good program to see every year, so bring back lots of good ideas and see new things.
All right.
I'll move to approve that travel request.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. I'll move on to the special events coordinator. This is the same contract as far as duties and costs for the last several years. For Paula Bowman for downtown event coordinator, coordinating First Fridays and all other downtown events. I would just say Paula works hard, and I'm happy to present this to the board.
Move to approve that.
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, and again, a contract with just a small amount of $5 per month payment from the Kosciuszko County Farmers Market. They will be again in charge of the farmers market for 2019. The terms of this are no different than they've been from the beginning. Again, every Saturday from 9 to 1, commencing on the 4th day of May and until the 26th day of October of 2019.
Move to approve?
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Now, we're going to move into a string of non-for-profit contracts. We will consider the first two individually, and we'll go through and discuss the rest of them and consider them collectively. But I wanted to start with the Animal Welfare League 2018 amendment, the modification to this year's AWL contract. If you remember, the council approved a $25,000 contractual increase to help support the building campaign, and that is duly noted on this item 2 of this amendment for 2018. Jeff, I know you were involved in that vote, and this is just the execution of the wishes of the council. So,
I agree with that. I move to approve the agreement.
I'll second that.
any further discussion?
I just want to give kudos to Jeff and the city council for having the wisdom to see the importance of the Animal Welfare League in their project. Do a lot of things for the city.
Tug was very compelling.
Yeah.
Tug and the Animal Welfare League did a good job.
Yeah.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And likewise, this is actually the rest of these will be 2019 council contracts, but I wanted to note and take this one separately. The 2019 Animal Welfare League contract does show that additional $25,000 for the same purpose to be paid in 2 installments in 2019, and you'll find that down right towards the bottom. It's item number 2, second paragraph. And again, it discusses that $25,000 in 2 payments to be used on the building campaign. It's specified for that. So, and then the rest of the contract was
The 20,
the 20 that was,
Two.
22,000 that was
Yeah, I see
approved
that.
by the board.
I move to approve?
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, and then we'll go down through the rest of these and then consider them collectively. The next one is the Beaman Home Agreement for $5,750 to provide services to the city of Warsaw as per the agreement. Questions on that? CCA agreement is a $20,000 amount, again, for, contract to provide services as enumerated by the contract. CABS agreement is a $19,055 agreement approved by the council, again, for the services rendered by CABS for our citizens.
Did you miss housing?
Housing.
Yep. $7,000 for housing opportunities in Warsaw. This is a program that allows our residents to do home-your-own repairs. It's administered well by Pam and her organization, HOW. That $7,000 was approved by the board. I'll go to the second CABS agreement, which was the capital improvement match to help them with a federal funds match for, I believe, another vehicle. And that is $11,314, again approved by the council. The 2019 KEDCO agreement, $55,000, the same as last year, plus $5,000. That is Northeast Indiana Regional Partnership membership dues, total $60,000. Those dues have to go through through KEDCO, so the city reimburses them for their amount, and the county reimburses them for their amount as well. Item I, 2019 Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams. This is obviously with Dr. Brosh's group out at Grace College and all the work they do. Again, approved in the amount of $17,500, again, for the same services rendered to the community. Item J is a 2019 Senior Services Agreement of $20,000. This is David Neff and the work he does for our seniors, contractual work. Warsaw Housing Authority. This is to assist with the Housing Authority administering federal vouchers for Section 8 housing. This is $30,000, again approved by the council. The 2019 WCDC agreement, again for services rendered to the community for downtown development, $18,360. And finally, the Warsaw Little League. This is the first time with them. 2019, $5,000 to provide those recreational services for the community. Are there any questions on any of those items C through M? Again, all were for the approved amounts that the council approved, and then we're just here for your consideration and contract approval.
And I just went, in case you were wondering where the facade grant program was, it didn't make this list, so we'll have it at the next board meeting.
Fair enough.
I move to accept contracts 8C through M.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Building and plan. This is a employment contract for Thomas Earhart as the code hearing officer. I know, Mike, you've been pleased with the work he's done. And
Yes.
Jeremy, you're asking that we consider rehiring him for next year?
Yes, this is just a standard yearly contract for those services he provides through the hearing officer board meetings.
Cost of $8,100. Is there any change in that from last year?
I don't believe so, no.
Questions?
No, I'll move to approve the employment contract.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
He's doing a really good job, guys.
Good, I noticed.
He really took after that. He took after it, and he's done
That's
really
great.
well.
I know that's been a focus of the plan department and the city administration is to try and be understanding, but we have to enforce what's on the books, and I know it starts in that.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Jeremy, Buffalo Street change order number 2.
Yes, you have change order number 2 in front of you for the amount of $74,770.75. It's actually a bulk of a number of change orders that included some additional pipe work based on reworking some of the irrigation systems from the park, some additional lighting, electrical work for the additional pad, and tying in the existing lights with in the park with the street lights of the city. Additional manhole that had to be done. There was a water line, the old water line that actually provided water from the lake at one point in time, ran across this project that had to be cut out, shut off, and blocked. So just some unforeseen changes, and then some changes to the design work, all totaling roughly $74,000, a little over 74 for the project.
Obviously, I assume all this work's been completed.
Yes, all the work's been completed.
I move to accept the change order.
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Market Street project, change order number 2.
So as was discussed when we did change order number 1, there was a change order number 2 coming, dealing with catch basins versus inlets. The original project was designed with more or less 18-inch catch basins that were basically cut-off pipe that were acting as inlets from the street department and wastewater department. Not wanting to maintain something that wouldn't meet our standards, we then switched those 18-inch inlets to actual 24-inch or 18-inch catch basins to actually 24-inch inlets, so they'll be more structural than a pipe cutoff and acting as a catch basin. That total change amounted to $6,370 that will be added to the Market Street project. We are currently still under the original bid amount by a little less than $50, but.
Questions?
No. Move to approve?
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Jeremy, Justin, contract with Troyer for engineering on the Lincoln Elementary neighborhood sidewalk project, which is an NDOT $1.1 million project.
Yep. So I've submitted for your approval the contract between the City of Warsaw and Troyer Group. This would be for the preliminary engineering phase of the Lincoln Neighborhood Sidewalk Project. So as Joe just mentioned, it was we received a grant from the state for $1.1 million, and this is the first step in creating that project, is doing the surveying and engineering work that precedes the construction.
Yeah, there's a map on page 24 from Troyer that shows the extent of that project. Just for clarification, I don't know, Jeremy, you may help on professional engineering. I know it's changed a little bit. Is this 80/20, or do we pay? How does that work?
The grant itself is 80/20. I just spoke with NDOT this morning, and they're reviewing the contract currently. They're going to give us an answer on whether or not the PE will be covered in that. Typically, they said it has been 80/20 as well, so we're hoping for that. Once everything's in place, that's what it's going to be, but they can't give us a definite word yet.
So is that a part of that 1.1? No, it would be in addition to. Okay, fair enough. All right. Questions?
No.
I move to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, thank you. One more item from the planning department, a request for a temporary signature authorization.
Yes, I am requesting your approval to allow Justin to sign on my behalf for my department while I am out for the next few weeks. That will include his ability to sign for payroll and any claims and any documents to operate the department as in my absence.
Questions?
So I'll make a motion to accept that.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you, Jeremy. All right. Got the Sherwin. AA taxi.
Dave Cesaretti of AA Taxis requesting 2 permits from the city for the taxi cabs that he has. The 2 vehicles passed inspection with the Warsaw Police Department Both of them have insurance and the drivers are valid. I'm requesting that the board approve.
So they have your full support based on the documents they've submitted and you do an inspection of cabs.
Our mechanic does an inspection on their vehicles.
Okay. So we'll consider the AA taxi, that was for 2 vehicles?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions?
No, move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And now to fast cabs permits, again, Mr. Cesaretti.
Mr. Cesaretti is requesting 7 permits from the city through Fast Cab. All 7 vehicles have passed inspection with our chief mechanic. All vehicles are insured and all the drivers are valid. I request approval from the board for the permits.
Questions?
No, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I didn't know it was $10 anyway.
Where do you live?
Indianapolis.
It's not in town, George. All right, thank you very much. All right, Scott.
It's Jeff. It's for diesel.
This is Jeff, sorry.
They look so much alike.
Jeff, go ahead.
I'm here to talk about diesel fuel for the next year. We went out to Sirius Solutions, which we've been providing our fuel the last 3 to 4 years now, and had received prices. I believe that we're going to pull the diesel price at the moment for on-road fuel, but we would like to request acceptance for the off-road diesel tank wagon delivery and the 90 clear gasoline tank wagon delivery.
So you want to take the on-road, off-road diesel off?
On
The on-road diesel
Okay.
to remove at the moment.
The on-road diesel's off?
On-road is off.
Okay,
So we're just considering the $2.0405 per gallon for off-road diesel and $2.62.6 for 90 clear gasoline tank wagon delivery.
That is correct.
Are you clear on that? We're not considering the on-road diesel price at this point.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'll move to approve the off-road diesel price.
And the,
And clear.
and the clear gasoline.
And the clear
And the
gas.
clear,
Okay.
90 clear gas.
Those
yes.
two? Yep, I'll second that.
All right, any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right. You're still up, Jeff.
For 2019, we'd like to go ahead and go out to purchase 2 more single axle plow trucks. We'll be trading in 2 of our older trucks. Get a trade-in price of $2,500 a piece. That would be a 1997 International dump truck and a 1995 Ford dump truck. Total price for the new vehicles is $388,364. With the trade-in value, takes it down to $382,824. That will put us in a slot for chassis, hopefully to arrive sometime in April, May-ish, and then it goes to the build process. So it'll be hopefully middle of next year sometime when we see them. Our 2 chassis we did this year, one will hopefully be here in 2 weeks, and the next one probably in April.
Jeff, can you explain Sourcewell pricing?
Sourcewell, which used to be NJPA, is a national organization that goes out to bid for multiple different things, all types of equipment, even office furniture and those kind of things.
So
they
it
go out.
satisfies our bidding
Yep,
requirement?
they go out and follow all the bid process, and Indiana has a state statute that allows us to be able to use their contract pricing that they've received.
So it satisfies our requirement to bid this out? Okay. Questions?
No.
I move to accept.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right, Brian will speak on behalf of the stormwater utility. It's got a change order on the Center Lake outfall construction, item 18.
Yes, it's actually a bit of a reduction, $1,000, $1,092.01. Had to do with We didn't put an extension onto the culvert that goes under the road, and they were going to pressure inject grout in the dam to fill some cracks when we got it tore apart. How they had filled the holes in the dam was not very satisfactory, so we ripped the bricks out and just filled the holes with concrete. So between those two items, there's your $1,000 deduction on that contract. The work is complete. It's the dam that sits there off of Osborne for Center Lake.
Questions?
Just so you're aware too, there's a typo on the contract worksheet. So it should be $94,531.49 for the new contract.
Oh, yeah. I thought she corrected that.
95,623.50.
No,
Well, down below it says minus $1,000 and it says 54,000. It's supposed to be 94,531.
Okay.
I thought she put a new
So it's
sheet
a
on there.
reduction from the 95,623.50.
Right. It's $1,000 from the 95, which brings it to 94,531.
You all clear on
49
that?
cents.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll move to approve with the
Thanks, Lynn.
corrected amount, 94,000.
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. The next item will be the Stormwater 2019 budget guidelines that are being presented to the Board of Works.
There is, I don't believe there's any total dollar amount to the budget. Some appropriations have gone up and down. We had a meeting yesterday. We're still kind of lining out the projects for next year. There's a long list of projects, and we're still looking at continuing on the south side, working our way towards Kelly Park. We're gonna have to get Larry involved here soon and try and mesh our plans down there. There's some shoreline stabilization work still to do, and then there's projects really all over the city. We just have to try and prioritize them the best we can.
So again, the budget itself is unchanged from 2018 to 2019, correct?
Correct.
All right. Questions?
I move to accept.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And I'll remind you that UMBOG provides us twice a year with an update, an analysis of the budget, both the wastewater and stormwater budgets, and those budgets are predicated on those reports. All right. Let's go to 2019 wastewater budget.
Yes. Most of the increases you'll see in personal services are due to increases we kind of ran short this year. A lot of the adjustments and items were made after we had set these, so we ended up running a little bit short this year. So that's why you see more than a 4% increase in that line item. No one in our department got more than a 4% increase for 19, though. And then you'll see a big jump in the bond and coupons while we're getting ready to close on that $30 million. So that's the $300,000 of that increase. I don't know, are there any specific questions over it?
Brenda, I assume the user fees for revenue estimate for 2019 takes into account the increase that was just passed.
Yes, and that's a number that I got from UMBAL, so it is an estimate at this point.
And again, these numbers are refined with those reports, and council's provided with all of those reports, again, for both wastewater and stormwater utilities.
We are continuing to invest in the collection system. This year is not as much as we hoped to, but there's $361,000 still for capital outlay in the collection system where we can continue repairing and rehabbing some of these. We need to get that bumped up a little bit, but it didn't quite work for this next year, but we're still spending that $10 million next year, so we're still doing quite a bit of work. But we will continue to try and get ahead of that and not get behind it again.
Any questions?
No.
Move to accept as presented.
Second?
Again, the only further discussion, I would just add that all of these numbers are reflective of the upcoming project, current project, upcoming project, and upcoming rate increase with the assistance of Bob. So, all right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Item 21 is a change order for the Eisenhower Basin Phase 2. This is change order number 1. Looks like a reduction.
Yes, I never get to bring reductions, and I have two today, so. This is for the work on that south side drainage study that we started years ago. This was finishing up that Eisenhower Pheasant Ridge area. This reduction, we didn't plant some of the trees. Some of the trees we had drawn to plant were actually on somebody else's property. There was some piping changes that reduced it a little bit. So these are quantities that were estimated and then not used.
Any questions?
No, move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, we'll move on to the next item. This is G&G Final Pay App 2, Eisenhower Phase 2.
Yes, this is, that finished that project, so this is the final pay app with retainage being paid as well.
That's reflective of that last amendment we just passed.
Correct.
Reduction, change order.
Move to accept.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, item 23 is SRF payment 13L, final pay Westler Sewer Rehab.
Yes, this is the final payment for the engineering work for our 4 rehab replacement projects.
Questions?
No, move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Just a quick question. Am I to assume that this means that they've completely engineered and then as problems have arisen, they've kind of any additions or re-engineering they needed to do has happened? I mean, we're far enough along in the project that there shouldn't be anything else.
There shouldn't be anything else.
Okay.
Something may come up, but at this
I believe
point,
you,
they
Brian.
feel confident that, I think most of the video work's been done on the lining, so they're pretty confident that they're not gonna have any more surprises.
Okay, fair enough.
Brian, the billing on that was more than what the disbursement amount's gonna be, so you were just going to pay for the rest of that bill out of your operating fund? Do you know?
I don't know.
I tried calling Wendy yesterday, but she
Okay, I
Okay.
can find out.
All in favor of final pay to Westler Sewer Rehab Project, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Item 24, pay 21 to Lane Inliner for pay app number 6, small diameter.
Yes, this is the ongoing small diameter project. It's moving along well. They'll probably wrap some of it up. They'll probably you probably won't see them anymore somewhere in January, but then they'll be back in the spring. There's some spot repairs that need to be completed under asphalt, and we don't want to do those till the asphalt plants open back up. And so once those spot repairs are made, they'll be back to run a few more lines, but that's just 6-8 lines, I believe. So we're getting there.
All right. And let's consider also item 25, which is the same as pay app number 4, this is the large diameter rehab.
Large diameter, they're scheduled to complete that work prior to Christmas. So we've made the announcements, and I appreciate in the paper where Anchorage is going to be closed, and that's going to be some of the last few pipes on that large diameter contract. So.
All right, so again, we're considering both item 24 and item 25, the Lane Inliner pay applications, 6 and 4 respectively for small diameter and large diameter. Any further questions?
No.
Move to approve both.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, item 26 is a pay application 23 to Selge, pay app number 8, amount of $25,142.
Yes, this is for the sewer replacement projects. They are basically finished also. There should probably be one more. There'll be, James, there's one more change order and then a final pay request, right? Yeah, so. But this portion's pretty much wrapped up also.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And again, just for
Thank
everyone's understanding, all of these applications are based on the certification that that work has been done. All right, special claims, Lynn, I think you've
Yeah, you should.
provided us with a couple of
And-
work claims.
I can go over it a little bit, and if you have any other questions, you can ask Jeremy, but the biggest purchase is the first 3 entries, and that's for the roadway and infrastructure in the certified tech park that was just built by,
Right, and that's all part of our development agreement that's been approved and ratified, and now that the work is done.
Yep, it was approved by redevelopment commission for that purchase agreement on Monday. We hope to close this upcoming Monday.
So again, that was all part of the development agreement with West Hill. We're proud to say the road's done. All right. So is there a motion to approve the, well, there's one other one, a bid computer for partial server. I assume that's our project downstairs that's moving along.
I'm assuming so too.
Questions?
No?
Move to approve all as presented.
Okay.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. And finally, the voucher for the, all the vouchers for approval.
Have the regular, the intervention, and the pension.
Do we have any questions? I'll motion we approve the claims stock.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Okay, anything else to be brought to the board? Questions or comments from the visitors? See everybody here. Scott, welcome back.
One more meeting when you're out there.
That's right. All right.
Tell you we'd like to park up, Joe. Light up tonight, so.
Light up tonight, Twinkle Parade starts at 6. Jeff, you got something going on with school kids helping you guys out, is that correct?
Yeah, we had put out snow plows, painted, Washington Snow was one of them. I painted the plows, so they came and decorated a kind of a float trailer that they're gonna have in front of the snow plow they painted.
Nice. So Washington STEM Academy got involved this year. The parade's incredibly fun, and I'm assuming we'll be using the new Buffalo Street tonight, so we don't have to make that quick jog left down on Canal. Just take it right around. All right. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thank you. All right, stick around. We'll try and get this signed.
Oh, yeah.
Those are all for everybody, so.
Okay.
Brian, you doing all right?